Loyalty is an illusion until it's tested, and most people never test it. They assume it. They believe kind words, shared laughter, and time spent are enough to prove someone's allegiance. But Machiavelli would have laughed at that. He knew better. In his world and in not yours, loyalty is not spoken. It's exposed. And the only way to know who's non-real is to test them without warning. Quietly, strategically, brutally, if necessary. Because the truth is, most of the people around you are not loyal to you. They're loyal to the benefits of being near you, your strength, your status, your attention. And once that benefit disappears, so do they. Machiavelli believed that real loyalty reveals itself, not when things are calm, but when there's something to lose. That's why he devised tests, small, calculated disruptions, not to hurt others, but to uncover them. You don't ask someone, "Are you loyal?" You put them in position where loyalty costs them something. That's when the mask slips. The first test is this: withdraw the spotlight. Stop praising them. Stop giving them your attention. Stop validating their existence in your world. But just for a while. Watch how they respond. If they grow distant, bitter, cold, or begin aligning themselves more closely with others, they were never with you. They were with the feeling you gave them. That's not loyalty. That's ego addiction. And Machiavelli knew the ego. Addicted are loyal only to their own reflection in your eyes. True allies do not vanish when the applause stops. They do not require your light to feel their worth. In fact, when you withdraw, real loyalty leans in. It checks on you. It holds position. But the false, they evaporate. Or worse, they find someone else to orbit. Someone more useful in the moment. Let them go. You didn't lose them. You revealed them. The second test is even subtler. Introduce uncertainty. Speak about a major decision you're making. A risky move, a new direction, something that signals change. Now watch their reaction. Are they supportive? Or do they suddenly become cautious, critical, overly concerned? Machiavelli would say, the loyal encourage boldness. The disloyal disguise fear as advice, because what this test does is threaten their comfort. If your change creates distance or elevates you beyond them, their insecurities begin to rise. A real friend adapts to your growth. A fake one tries to anchor you to where they felt safest beside you. They won't oppose you directly. Instead, they'll use words like, "I just don't want you to get hurt," or "Are you sure this is smart?" But underneath, what they're really saying is, "Don't outgrow me." This is the moment where you must become surgical. Observe. Don't respond. Let them talk. The more they speak, the more they reveal whether they're protecting you or protecting their own place in your shadow. The third test is simple, but brutal. Go silent. Not as a game, not to punish, but to create space. See who steps in and who disappears. Machiavelli would say, the absence of presence reveals the presence of niche in our absence. The ones who only show up when you're visible, when you're shining, when you're posting, talking, entertaining. Those are spectators, not supporters. Real loyalty is quiet. It notices your silence. It reaches out without needing an audience. It's the voice that says, "You've been distant. Are you okay?" Not "Why aren't you responding to me?" This test hurts because it breaks your illusion of mutual care. But illusions are dangerous. And Machiavelli knew that the greatest threat to any ruler was not the army outside the gates. It was the betrayal waiting inside. So you must treat your life like a kingdom, and not everyone deserves a place in the castle just because they smiled at the gates. The fourth test, put yourself in a position of temporary weakness. Let them see you unsure, struggling, needing help. Don't make it dramatic. Just let them see a moment where you don't have the answers, where your usual strength slips, and then observe. This is where loyalty either sharpens or shatters. Some people are only loyal to your strength. They worship the image of you, not the reality. The moment they see a crack, they step back, not out of concern, but because your weakness makes them uncomfortable. Why? Because they were never supporting you. They were using your strength as a ladder. If that ladder breaks, they move on to the next one. Machiavelli would say, the one who stays when the palace shakes is the only one worthy of standing beside you when it's rebuilt. And finally, the fifth test, the coldest and most powerful of them all. Give them an opportunity to benefit by betraying you. Subtle, strategic, not extreme, but real. Something that tempts them a moment on, where choosing themselves over you brings them advantage. Watch closely. Do they warn you in advance? Do they hide it? Do they justify it after? Or do they come to you first with clarity and honesty? This test doesn't just reveal their loyalty, it reveals their values. And values, unlike words, don't lie. Though reality is most people will fail one of these tests. Because most people aren't built for real loyalty. They're built for transaction, for convenience, for appearance. But Machiavelli didn't care about appearances. He cared about outcomes. And the outcome of these tests, clarity. You'll lose people, but what you gain is silence, peace, loyalty that has been proven through fire, not declared in comfort. You don't need an army. You don't need dozens of friends. You need 3, 2, even 1. The kind who stays when there's no reward, who believes when there's no evidence, who protects you even when you're not in the room. But you'll never know who that is until you test. Most people go their entire lives surrounded by shadows. People who nod when they speak, laugh when they succeed, disappear when they suffer. They call this friendship. They call this loyalty. But Machiavelli would call it what it truly is: camouflage. A soft theater of affection masking a battlefield of quiet self-interest. And unless you're willing to step back and test these figures, you'll spend your life building on sand, trusting loyalty that was never there, and exposing your plans to people who are waiting to use them. When you test someone, you're not being cruel. You're being responsible. You're not creating betrayal. You're revealing it. That distinction is everything, because people will try to guilt you, say you've changed, say you're cold now, say you don't trust them, and they're right. You don't not until they've earned it. Not until they've passed what Machiavelli would call the necessary trials of allegiance. You don't hand out trust like candy. You make them fight for it, not with words, but with consistency. There's something unsettling that happens when you begin applying these tests. The faces you thought were solid start to melt. The tone of conversations shift. People start questioning your intentions. Why? Because when someone benefits from your ignorance, your awareness becomes a threat. They feel it, the shift in you, the precision, the withdrawal. And if they're guilty, they won't confess. They'll retaliate, not with violence, but with subtle undermining. That's how you know the test worked. See, a friend is not always a snake. Sometimes they're just soft. They crumble under pressure. They change direction when winds shift. They need you to be a version of yourself that's convenient for them. And the moment you move, grow, or harden, they begin to retreat. Machiavelli would say, The weak will always mistake strength for cruelty. This is where most people fail. They deem past the test. They see the truth. And still they stay out of nostalgia, out of puny fear, out of that old deadly question. But what if I'm wrong? You're not. When your gut tightens, when your energy drains around them, when your victories feel like something you need to hide, you already have your answer. You're just delaying the consequences. Machiavelli wasn't interested in comfort. He was interested in control. And control requires clarity. You cannot afford to guess where someone stands. Not if you're building something. Not if you're climbing. Not if your words carry influence. Your time carries weight. Your silence carries power. You must know who is beside you. Not imagine, not hope, not assume. No. And here's the paradox. Once you begin living this way, strategically, observantly, ruthlessly, the right people reveal themselves too. It's not all betrayal. The silence exposes the loyal just as sharply. While you withdraw, and someone steps forward, not for themselves, but for you, that's real. That's not performance. That's alignment. And it doesn't come often. When it does, protect it like gold. Because you'll start to realize one loyal person is worth more than 100 convenient ones. You'll also realize something else. Loyalty isn't loud. It doesn't broadcast itself. It doesn't need to. Loyalty is consistent. It's calm. It doesn't need proof because it's built on presence. When someone is truly on your side, you feel it. Not just when you're winning, but when you're uncertain, quiet, distant. They don't vanish. They stay. Not always perfectly, not always loudly, but they stay. The beauty of Machiavelli's tests is that they don't require confrontation. No shouting, no arguments, just patterns. Silence, withdrawal, opportunity, and then observation. Let others reveal themselves. Let their loyalty or their lack of it speak louder than their words ever could. Most people are terrified of this. They don't want to know. They'd rather live in illusion than cut someone off. But every day you keep a disloyal person near you, you're not protecting them. You're betraying yourself. Loyalty is a fortress, and every false friend inside that fortress is a crack in the foundation. You don't fix cracks with paint. You fix them by tearing out what's weak and rebuilding with stone. So begin quietly, precisely. Pull away, hold space, make moves that create friction. Not because you're trying to destroy the relationship, but because you're testing what holds it together. The right ones will hold. The wrong ones will fall. And when they do, let them. No explanations, no apologies, just silence. That's silence, that's your crown. Wear it. Move forward. There's a strange peace that settles in when the wrong people leave your life. Not immediately. At first it feels hollow, like something is missing, but that absence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. See, so it's space being created for what's real, for what actually strengthens you. And Machiavelli would say, power doesn't grow in crowded rooms. It grows in clean ones. Every false friend removed is not a subtraction. It's a purification. You're not getting rid of support. You're removing distortion, because when someone's loyalty is fake, their presence isn't neutral. It's corrosive. Every time they speak, they blur your vision. Every time they nod, they dull your edge. Every time they smile, they make you hesitate. And hesitation is death. Not just in war, but in life, in ambition, in strategy. That's why you test. Not because you enjoy it, not because you want to be feared, but because you have things to protect. Your energy, your time, your legacy. And those who are not truly with you are quietly against you. Maybe not intentionally, but their weakness will eventually collide with your strength. And when it does, they'll either retreat or betray. So, you make the test part of your process. You normalize it, not just once, but regularly. Loyalty isn't something you verify once and then forget. It's something you keep checking, like security at the gates. Machiavelli's greatest fear wasn't the rebellion of strangers. It was the quiet ambition of those inside the circle, and history proved him right. Again and again, empires fell not from invasion, but from decay within. Friends turned rivals, allies turned enemies. Why? Because no one noticed the shift in time. Or worse, they noticed and stayed silent. But you won't, because now you're not just observing, you're orchestrating. When you speak of uncertainty, you're watching reactions. When you pull back, you're noting who follows and who fades. When you expose vulnerability, you're testing their motives. When you provide opportunities that could benefit them at your expense, you're watching where their loyalty bends. And all the while, you remain silent, calm, surgical. That silence is your advantage. The moment you accuse someone, they have room to lie, to spin, to defend. But when you simply watch, you see the truth. People reveal themselves most when they think they're unobserved. So become the mirror they don't know is watching. Become the silence that hears more than words, and never explain your tests. Once they're aware, the result is corrupted. Now, here's where most people get caught. They think loyalty is about how someone treats them, but it's more than that. It's how someone treats your name when you're not there, how they speak about you in a room full of critics, how they needn't move when power shifts. Loyalty is proven most when you are absent in title, in influence, in advantage. So if you're ever unsure, step out, vanish, watch the dust settle, and then see who's still standing by you when there's no benefit to gain. This mindset is rare because most people are desperate to belong, to be liked, to be surrounded. But Machiavelli didn't write for the desperate. He wrote for the dominant. And dominance isn't found in company. It's found in control. The more selective you are with your alliances, the more dangerous you become. Because now your circle isn't just full, it's fortified. It's loyal by design, not by accident. You start to notice the difference instantly. Real loyalty moves differently. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't need to be fed constantly. It operates in the background. It guards you in silence. It doesn't crumble when things go dark. It strengthens. And when you speak of pain, it doesn't get awkward or distant. It leans in. That kind of loyalty is rare, but it's worth everything. Because when you find even one person like that, someone who would defend you without needing a prompt, someone who would step in before you, even ask, you realize something deeply powerful. You don't need to be surrounded to feel supported. You just need one who's real. And here's the final beauty of a loyalty test. Once you start running it on others, you begin running it on yourself. You start asking, am I loyal in silence? Do I protect those who trust me, or do I disappear when it's inconvenient? That question cuts deep, because true power isn't just about commanding loyalty. It's about embodying it, being the person others can trust, even when they're not watching. That's how you build empires that last. The test of loyalty doesn't end with exposing others. It becomes a mirror. When you've seen betrayal up close, when you've felt the silence of those who vanished, when you've watched trust decay under the weight of convenience, you begin to sharpen your own edge, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Machiavelli believed that a ruler must be both unfeared and respected. But more than anything, He must be trusted by the few who matter. And that kind of trust comes from consistency, from discipline, from never flinching in the face of disloyalty, even in yourself. Because if you demand loyalty, you must also offer it, not freely, but fiercely, not to many, but to the few who earn it. You must protect their name in silence. You must guard their secrets like weapons. You must stand with them not just when it's easy, but especially when it costs you something. That is the final transformation Machiavelli hinted at from Madras, ruler of others to ruler of self. But let's be clear, offering loyalty does not mean tolerating weakness. It does not mean defending someone who has failed your tests. It means that when you do find the rare ally, the one who passes every move you make, the spotlight withdrawal, the uncertainty test, the silence, the exposure of vulnerability, the temptation of betrayal, that person becomes a part of your core, not your circle, your core. And that core is sacred. Once you have that, everything changes. Your focus tightens, your execution sharpens. You stop explaining yourself. You stop watching your back because now you have gray eyes behind you. You have someone who doesn't just clap for your victories. They guard the space around you so you can win uninterrupted. Someone who doesn't compete with you silently while pretending to cheer. Someone who doesn't see your fall as a moment to rise above you. Most people will never experience this because most people are terrified to test the people around them. They're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of what they'll find. But that fear is what keeps them weak, surrounded but unsupported, cheered for but not protected, liked but never respected. And Machiavelli would remind you, respect always outweighs affection in the game of power. So when you begin cutting, isolating, refining, you're not becoming cold, you're becoming exact. Precision is not cruelty, it is survival. And those who can't understand that were never built to rule. They were built to follow, to depend, to cling. That's not who you are. You are here to lead, to dominate, to see the battlefield before the enemy even steps forward. And you do that by testing every potential threat before it strikes. Not just the loud ones, the quiet ones, the ones who smile a little too much, the ones who agree a little too easily, the ones who are always around but never show depth. Test them, watch them, and when they fail, don't explain, don't fix, just cut. There's a strange power in knowing that the few who remain have been forged by fire, not picked at random, not carried out of sentiment, but chosen because they passed, because they stood when others folded, because they earned their place, not with words, but with proof. And those people, those rare, silent, sharp individuals, they are your strength. They don't need attention. They don't need praise. They just need access. And once you give it, they use it to fortify you, not to weaken you. That's what makes them dangerous, and that's what makes them invaluable. So, you move differently now. You speak less. You watch more. Every conversation becomes data. Every silence becomes a test. Every reaction becomes a signal. And every betrayal becomes a cut you make once. Clean without hesitation. There's no ceremony, no emotional exit moti, just space, absence, detachment. Because the ones who failed the test were never meant to stay. And the ones who pass, they never leave. The more precise you become, the quieter your world gets. Not empty, clean, not lonely, fortified. You stop mistaking noise for loyalty. You stop confusing presence with support. You begin to crave stillness, because in that stillness there is no performance, no need to wear armor in your own home, no need to translate every sentence. The people who remain already speak your language, not your words, but your values. Machiavelli knew that power invites deception, that those who orbit influence will always wear masks. And so, the wise ruler must never grow soft, not in judgment, not in memory, not in the boundaries he draws. You can forgive if it serves your position, but you do not forget, because forgetting is how betrayal returns in a different form, wearing a cleaner face. Some betrayals are dramatic, obvious, but most are quiet, slow, a missed word here, a hesitated defense there, a door closed when it should have stayed open. The betrayal doesn't scream, it whispers, and unless you're listening, truly listening, you'll miss it. That's why the loyalty test isn't a one-time filter, it's a lifestyle. You stop trusting momentum, you trust behavior. You stop being impressed by admiration, you look for endurance. You stop asking what someone says they feel about you, and start watching what they do when you're not useful to them. Because real loyalty isn't proven when you're strong, it's revealed when you're vulnerable, when you have nothing to offer, when your image is shaken, your direction, your path unstable. That's when the masks come off. That's when opportunists vanish. That's when real ones reveal themselves, not with grand wise gestures, but by staying. In a moment, you see someone fail one of these loyalty tests, even subtly. Do not second-guess it. Don't justify it with history. Don't soften it with empathy. You saw the crack. Believe it cut before it deepens. Because Machiavelli understood that the ones who betray you most brutally are always the ones you gave too many chances. This is where people weaken. They hesitate. They hope the disloyal will change, that this time will be different, that it wasn't intentional. But understand this, loyalty is not an accident. No one is loyal by mistake. If they were disloyal, under pressure, they will do it again. All it takes is a right opportunity. So the cut must be clean. No explanations, no grand final talk, no warnings. If someone fails the test, they have already left you in spirit. You're just making it official. Power is silent. Precision is silent. The only noise you should ever allow in these moments is the echo of a door closing. And once they're gone, you don't mourn. You reorganize, you recalibrate, and you move forward. Lighter, sharper, cleaner. Because this isn't about paranoia. This is about sovereignty, about building an empire. Even if it's just your mind, your business, your inner world, that cannot be shaken by weak ties or false support. Every time you run the test and someone fails, you gain something more valuable than the illusion they offered. Certainty. Certainty that you are surrounded by those who passed the fire. Certainty that your silence has power. Certainty that your path is no longer crowded by the unnecessary. That certainty becomes your advantage, your edge, because while others waste time questioning motives, doubting intentions, managing drama, you move on die. You act, you execute, surrounded only by the proven. Machiavelli never said trust no one. He said trust wisely, selectively, strategically. Trust what's been tested not once, but over time. And when that trust holds, reward it, not with praise, but with access, with loyalty returned. Because while betrayal is common, true allegiance is rare, and when found, it must be honored like a weapon forged in your defense. Once you've tested everyone around you and the dust has settled, what remains isn't just a tighter circle. It's a throne, a psychological position from which you can operate with absolute clarity. There, are no more questions, no more guessing. You know who's real, you know who failed, and most importantly, you know